Bhutan is a small Buddhist kingdom located on the Himalayas, sandwiched between India and China. It is one of the most fascinating nations in the world, as it is nothing like most countries. The Bhutanese tend to live a more traditional lifestyle, so that's why you won't see any tall skyscrapers ruining the natural and traditional landscape of Bhutan. It is so fascinating that television wasn't even a thing in the country until 1999, a year before the third millennium of the Gregorian calendar began. You might be wondering, huh? How did the Bhutanese live without watching TV? I'm pretty sure that's a hoax. Or is it? They somehow did for over 70 years after the first television set was invented by Scottish inventor John Logie Baird. Now let's see the country in general. Unlike its neighbors China and India, which are heavily urbanized and one of them is even full of tall skyscrapers, Bhutan is isolated from the rest of the world. Around 56% of its population reside in rural areas. It is the only remaining Tibetan-influenced state, as Tibet was occupied by China in 1950 and Sikkim became a state of India in 1975. It is a quite fascinating country because it's covered by tall mountains and lush forests, and the vast majority of the people don't give a single shit about Western culture. Instead, they embrace local traditions. It is also one of the most peaceful nations, so that's cool. Television was often seen as a tool to corrupt the minds of people, so it was banned until 1999. Bhutan embraced isolationism for a very long time, so long that they have official diplomatic ties with only a couple of nations, and the country only hosts embassies of 3 countries. Radio broadcasting in Bhutan began only in 1973. At that point, television had already become mainstream in many parts of the world, especially the West. There have been instances when some Bhutanese illegally had access to foreign television channels using satellite dishes prior to the Bhutanese king officially allowing television in the country in the year 1999. The first television station of Bhutan was launched the same year, which was named BBS Television, BBS standing for the Bhutan Broadcasting Service. It remained the only local channel in the country until the launch of BBS2 in 2012. Nowadays, the people of Bhutan enjoy watching television and even using the internet after a long period of isolationism. Although this isn't entirely a good thing. Studies indicate that crime rate had significantly increased in the country by 2002, and some people accuse television for it. Nonetheless, the story of how Bhutan managed to resist the invasion of the world by the so-called idiot box fascinated me. But the thing is, they have been trying to protect the culture and identity of the Kingdom of the Thunder Dragon.